Hello, everybody. Marina Franklin here. Today, I'm starting off by myself. So, hello. So you can have me all to yourself. Evelyn Frick, who's usually here with me every Saturday, she is doing a onion weekend weekend where they at the onion where they I guess they do things where they show you. I don't know. We'll find out about it next week when she comes back. But I'm here for you. So there you go. And just so you know, I do this every Saturday. Every Saturday. I start early. The official start time is at 3 o'clock. I still start early to grab some of the other platforms like Facebook Live and Stitch. Did I say that right? Yes. So, oh, thank you, Jimmy. So nice to be loved. Feels good. Thank you for supporting me. And the reason I do this every week to promote my podcast, Friends Like Us. I don't know if you know this, but I have a podcast. Yes. It's a podcast called Friends Like Us. And we welcome guests, it's usually women of color. It's heavily leaned towards Black women, but we've had like all types of conversations on the show. Once a month we'll have a white, like a period, it's like our cycle. And we also have a guy. Like this week we have a couple of guys coming up. This Monday I have John Laster, funny comedian. He's always hosting at the Comedy Cellar. And Christina Greer will be there. Christina Greer, who is a professor, very smart. She can talk about this election that just passed and what is going on, what is on the minds, why do we have such a low turnout of voters. I voted early, and I like to tell people I voted early. I forgot my reading glasses though, so who knows, I may have screwed up everything. So I know there was just this one section where I was like, I can't see it. I went to the eye doctor recently. He told me I have really bad vision, close and far. Basically, he said, "Motherfucker, you blind." So that's why when you see me with these big pink reading glasses on like this, it's not because I don't know that there's a reflection. See, look at that. There's a reflection. It's awful. I got to take off my mustache. Tonight I'll be at the Comedy Cellar, so we will literally be doing just an hour. Juskow will be joining. Dave Juskow, my wacky friend David Juskow will be joining us in a little bit. But it's nice to kind of be here by myself. If you're just joining, I see there's 8 of you watching. Where are you from? Where are you at? Where are you? Say hello. Are you new? Is this your first time? I see you. It tells me how many people are watching. Not many right now because we officially start at 3. But I always like to start early. Steve Salino. Ah, you have an eye appointment coming up, huh? Do you have glasses? Do you have to put drops in your eyes? I have to put drops in my eyes every night. It's amazing. You get older and these things it's just, you think about it and you go, "Oh, I should have read more about the human body. I should have like done my research so I know what is going on with my body." Oh, Steve, oh yeah. Okay, so Steve is saying, "Not yet. My vision is definitely going though." Look, I'm having a hot flash as I'm talking about my vision. My glasses just fog up. It's nonstop with this one. Okay? So yeah. Oh God. So I can't see anything, but hopefully I voted for the right person. I know I just saw Democrat, and that's what. So funny. I had a driver. I know I sound fancy. I have a driver. But I had a driver drive me to a show that I cannot announce, but let's just say I'll give you a little hint. Tomorrow I'm going to be on HBO. I can't say what show, but I'm going to be on it doing a sketch. God help me. I hope I look good. I know they called me at the last minute, and I swear to God, I ate like cookies and bread, and oh my God. So hopefully I look all right. But tomorrow it's going to be on HBO. I'll be on it, and I'll be posting. I'll post it to my YouTube channel as well because they're going to send it to me. But I can't tell anyone what it is. They won't let me. So there it is. Hello, Michelle Pierce. I'm so glad you found me too. New Jersey. An area code I don't think I'll ever live in, but good for you. Oh, this is a lot of. Can you hear that? There's fire trucks and police officers. It's nonstop in Harlem. Let's see. Let's see. Musim Titus. I just enjoy your comedy. And you're from Norway. What up, Norway? I used to know how to say hi in Norway. But my memory is so bad but I think it's something like hello. But thank you, Norway. I got fans in Norway. That's freaking awesome. How did you find me in Norway? I'm just curious. Look, it's so nice to kind of do this by myself because I could kind of make it about me. I don't know if you guys notice this, if you follow me when I do a podcast, when I host my own podcast, and even when I do this, I like let the person take over. Let's see here. Abdur Rakim. Thank you. God, I love all of you here saying you love me. Roxbury, hello. How are you? I got to put these stupid glasses on so I can see you. I apologize. Look at that mustache I got going. Hello. Somebody needs to wax. Somebody's transitioning. All right. So just enjoy your comedy. Well, Norway, I don't know if you get podcasts there, but this is actually why I do this. You see this little thing in the corner that says Friends Like Us, hosted by Marina Franklin. That's my podcast, my podcast. And we had a really good one this week. We had Khalees Hawkins, Masavia Greer, and Holly Harper. Great conversation about, parent leave, paid leave for parents, taking care of children, schools. We have a principal of Chicago. He ran for mayor. So that's going to be a really good episode. Oh my God, they're getting lively in the back of my building. I reported them last night because I couldn't sleep. And that's just what I do. It's just weird to hear, when you hear random shouts of enthusiasm, just random, it's annoying. I'm sure they feel good, but to the person who's at home living their life, doing what they need to do, it's the most annoying sound ever. All right. Let's see what's going on here. Besides, I love your stand-up. Did we find out, Abdur, where you're from? Did you say? You didn't say. Where are you from, Abdur? Where are you from, Muslim? I see there's like 10 of you watching here, so say hello. Talk to me. I'll try to get to you because as soon as Juskow gets here, that's David Juskow. It's a comedian friend of mine. As soon as he gets here, I'm not going to get in a word. Trust me. Even, usually I do this with my assistant, Evelyn Frick. She's usually here and we talk about our day. I'll tell you what I just did. I went to the farmer's market this morning. I don't have any new plants. That one's dying behind me. Because the magnolias or whatever they're called. Yes, I think that's what they are. They're still alive. So they're living. I'm keeping something alive. It's quite incredible. Random shout out about what? I gotta put my glasses on. And I see my friend, my wacky friend is here. He's gonna come on soon, but let me see. Random shout of enthusiasm. You are hilarious. Can't wait to see you in person again in New York. Wow, thank you. I can't wait to be seen. So thank you, Chuck. Thank you. Uh Hey girl, watching you from New Mexico. Wow, Frank, thank you. Hello. That's awesome, Frank. I love the name Frank. Good friend of mine, Rachel Feinstein, her little girl, Frankie. She's so cute. Can't wait to see you in person again in New York. Yeah, I have 2 shows tonight, so I will be ending this on the hour so I can focus and be funny. It's dark day here in New York. The clock has gone way back or whatever. The daylight savings time is not saving any lives, I'll tell you that. Tamara. Hi, Tamara. All right, so with no further ado, I love that you are all here this Saturday. You know, I do this every Saturday. For those of you that are new, I do this every Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to talk about my podcast, Friends Like Us. And I like to promote the episodes. You know, if you're not listening, it's on all platforms. Okay. It's on Spotify, it's on Apple Podcasts, it's on Pocket Cast, it's everywhere. And there's a link in the bio underneath here so you can check it out. And I mean, it was a really good conversation this week. We also had the gossiping heifers on. Oh, Lord. I'm going to have them come on here one time because those gossiping heifers are hilarious. All right. So, with no further ado, I'm going to bring up my friend David Juskow, who you know, I don't want to say you love him. You kind of like him and you love to like get annoyed by him, but you love messing with him too. And he's got nothing else to do, this guy. So let's bring him in.
Hello, Marina.
Hello, Jessica. Hello, David.
Listen, since I know Evelyn isn't here today, I have your Instagram tweets. Tamara Payne says last week's show was awful. Why you think putting on a show like this is a good idea is beyond me.
Tamara would never say anything like that.
I'm just reading the Instagram DMs that I get on a daily basis.
Tamara would never say something like that.
Well, that's what makes it so funny.
She's gonna come for you.
You should have told me. I forgot Evelyn wasn't here. I could have read all the Instagrams today.
She sent them to me.
Well, you should have sent them to me so I could read them. I want to be Evelyn today. Hi, I'm going to be at the Queer Festival next week doing comedy with my girlfriend because we're lesbians and sometimes I like boys. But here's what's happening on Friends Like Us. We have a really great show for you this week. Let's see. A black professor from Cornell University will be on talking about black stuff. And then I don't know what I'm doing. I'm making it worse for myself.
Yeah, you're digging a hole.
Yeah,
that's why Michelle is saying great introduction.
And then it all goes downhill from there. That's what I do. My entire comedy career has been digging a hole and trying to dig myself out. And my old manager used to say, if you just started without putting yourself in the hole, you know, you might really be popular. And I'm like, nah, it's fun to put yourself in the hole and see if you can get out.
Is that a different background? You got Kiss in the background now.
Yeah. Rock and roll. I always have a different poster every week. You know that.
You know what's funny? I did not notice.
How could you not notice? I had the Clueless poster up. I had the Enchantment Under the Sea dance last week, which of course was last night. I hope you got your tickets and Marty McFly was able to get Back to the Future.
No, I did not.
Well, why would you?
I was always afraid of Kiss.
Yeah, me too. I was afraid of them for a while until I realized that they were awesome. Their music is amazing.
That red tongue and it seemed like there was blood coming out of their mouth.
It was. That was Gene Simmons' specialty. Lick it up, Oh! But that's off the one where they unmask themselves, which is not relevant. But what about I wanna rock and roll all
All
night
night.
and party every day.
But here's the thing. I would have liked them more if they didn't like also hate disco and the process of them becoming like huge stars. Like, because when they became huge, there was this whole disco sucks campaign that was going on.
True, but I don't think Kiss had anything to do with it.
I
Thank you,
feel like
John.
they
Isn't it awesome?
did.
The Pac-Man machine. I'm telling you, over Thanksgiving, I'm putting together the Outrun machine. Outrun. That's the third
I was
machine
just
we're
playing
going to be put together.
Fortnite with
You two may have
Akeem.
to
Do you
play.
know Akeem?
Oh, from Coming to America.
No.
Prince Akeem. Sure, I do.
Not that
It's so
Akeem.
cool. So you were playing with him?
No,
He's
I was.
brilliant in Coming to America too. Also, I don't mind talking about either one. I like them both.
There's so many Akeems.
Prince-
Howdy, Stace.
Prince Akeem. Now he becomes. I mean, it's a spoiler, but he becomes King Akeem in Coming to America too.
Hi, John. My friend Jermaine Fowler was in the most recent.
Oh yeah. Oh, that guy was great. That's your friend?
Yeah, you should know Jermaine.
I don't know whether I know him, but he was great. He was really,
Jermaine
really
Fowler and I used to run the comic strip. We were like managed, so they used to put us up all the time.
Of course. Oh my God, I forgot. Oh my God, I
Bob
just
Wax.
Okay, so I was just talking to Kate Meany. Do you know who that is?
Mm-mm.
Exactly. I didn't know either. It's Kevin Meany's daughter.
Oh wow.
She's a waitress at the comic strip. So she's, I guess, been working there for years, and they take her in. Now, I don't like that place at all, and I never have.
It smells
But she
like
was talking
popcorn.
about your old manager. Of course, I forgot the legendary story when you were making the tape, the CD, and I was sitting right next to him. He goes, and he was making fun of your dead ex-boyfriend.
Oh,
He was just like, "What the hell is the matter with him? Ain't no paradise gonna ruin everything."
he's still on stage.
Oh, that was the best.
still on stage.
He was so angry.
So-
Hey, Marina's gone. This is fantastic. All right, everybody. Now we can talk about Marina without. Damn it! Now I'm gone. Okay, I'm back. Oh, damn it! I was hosting the podcast for a minute
Why'd that happen?
because probably your internet stinks because of the storm.
Oh, the storm.
Whenever the storm's coming, it's always Back to the Future for me. I'm like, the storm. That's the line he has.
I want to be on this side.
I know. I was hosting the podcast for a minute. I was about to badmouth you, and then you came back.
I look like a kid with this hat on my
You look
head.
awesome. I like that it's pink.
Thanks.
You look very pretty.
So for those of you that don't know, Richie Tinkins, he's, sadly he has passed, but he only
How did he survive that long? I mean, he should have died a long time. I mean, obviously the voice he had was a cancerous smoking throat thing. I mean, it's amazing he lasted as long.
God,
What
his
year
faith
did he?
in God.
What year did he? How old was he when he died?
I don't know.
Did he make it to 80? I think he was in his 70s. He might have
not
looked older
sure.
than he was. So
I didn't talk to him for a long time after I left the strip,
very
and it
upset
wasn't
about
because
that,
of him.
Oh.
Was he? Yeah, it probably was.
He had so much faith in you and loved you, and that's why he was so angry at your dead ex-boyfriend. To continue, why is he doing a half hour?
But here's a story. I had these people write me a letter saying they want to pitch a show with me in it for HBO. Now, I still don't know who those people are to this day, but we met with them at the Friars Club. Met with them and Richie and Bob Wax. Both of them were formerly Eddie Murphy's managers. So when Eddie Murphy was young, these were his managers, right? And they basically were helping Eddie to reach stardom. Okay. So we were sitting at the Friars Club with these guys who wanted to do a show with me, pitch it to HBO. It sounded like Veep. Who knows? It was some political show. They wanted me to be in it, like a sitcom, or an hour, half hour, whatever. Richie was eating onion soup.
This guy's the worst manager ever. What an asshole. I can't believe you were.
I didn't say he was the worst. He's not an asshole. God rest his soul.
How is that not an asshole in a meeting eating onion soup? What are you doing?
I'm just explaining what happened. So he was eating onion soup. And I don't know, someone who talks like this, you don't want to ever see them eating onion soup.
You
And I
shouldn't
mean,
eat.
the cheese, the guy was like trying to pitch the show idea to us.
Yeah,
And,
it's French onion soup, that is,
and
with the cheese. French
French
onion
onion
soup.
soup. And
That's the worst. You have to pull off the cheese. Yeah.
And
It's the
Richie
worst thing to eat in company.
and Richie points to me while the guy's in mid sentence, and he goes, "She's Eddie Murphy."
I mean, that's the worst part is he loved you so much, totally believed in you 100%,
He
but
did.
he shouldn't have been managing anyone.
Well, I will say this, Richie, like, used to, before he managed me, he used to always be in the room. He would always watch my act.
Yeah, no, he was
And
in love with you in all the right ways.
yeah, just, they wanted to know if they could do it again. You know what I
He
mean?
had a lot of faith in you, and, I would have felt that way too. I mean, you really are something else, and I, obviously let people know what an amazing, not only what an amazing person you are, but just what an amazing, really brilliant stand-up comic you have become.
Ah,
I
stop. You're getting nothing here.
Well, I think, you've kind of upped your game in stand-up comedy, and I don't know what it is with some of my friends that maybe when I finally see them perform a full set, I'm like, wow, they really are good. The friends we've known for years, and then you actually see them perform, and you're like, wow, they're really terrific. And that is you for sure. And I guess my view changed. I mean, I always liked you and knew you were great,
Oh,
but after you
thanks,
did the
Juskow. I don't know how to take these compliments
after
unless I
you did
insult you a
the
little bit.
I don't mind. After you did the wish you were here, whatever that NPR thing is, I was just like, wow, I was all different about
Oh,
you.
that was so much fun.
You were so amazing,
Live,
and I
live
guess
from here.
live from here, and I guess also for me as a listener to that show on Saturday afternoons that I used to like, the Prairie Home Companion, and the fact that you were on it, I guess it also meant, so it all just kind of worked in this thing where I was thinking about you differently. I mean, obviously we've been friends for a long time, and I like you very much, but I liked you as a person, not as a comic so much. Even though I knew you were talented, but then that opened up this new respect. You
Aw.
know.
Was it because I could do any show?
No, it was just you were just wonderful. I guess I had never, how like we've, like we're up at the cellar, right?
Yeah.
And we don't see a lot of our friends perform unless
In
you're
these
going
in
on
in
immediately
these
after
big
them.
space. Oh, right, because 'cause we're hanging out.
Yeah.
You're
So,
right,
so
yeah.
even like seeing you perform on Sarah's show, it's like there's a lot to do. You're in the back, you don't really hear anything. But that day I was right there in the curtain. I could hear everything. I guess that's what it was. I was finally able to listen. And that's why I think I told you, my friend Joe Messina, who thought you were great. I was like, oh my God, she's got this thing where she uses this talking about the 1800s with the they and that, and Joe's like, what are you, a fucking idiot? She did that when you were in Atlantic City, and I'm like, she did, because I didn't hear it. So it's a lot of times you might be performing, I can hear the audience laughing, but I don't hear the material. And that day I heard the material and it resonated. I'm like, she's brilliant. Even though
Aw.
we've been friends for 15, 20 years already, I finally heard the act. And now it was just like, this is what I tell everybody, like, you have no idea how brilliant she is,
Oh
people.
my
I mean, you
god.
people know, but
Oh my god. Thank you.
yeah, you're welcome. I'm sorry. I like to tell it like it is. And when I did the same thing with Gary Goldman,
Oh, he's on
uh,
tonight, right? At
at Carnegie Hall.
Carnegie
And
Hall.
I
And
had seen him,
She
and
goes, Lois
mm,
she called me and she said, Marina, a friend of mine is going to take me to see Gary Goldman.
yeah.
It's an old friend, so we're going to go watch his act and see him. I go, that's great, Lois. Is this a date? She goes, no. Just wanted to see the Gary Goldman, see him perform.
No, it's not a date. It's just a friend of mine that had stage 4 cancer and finally was able to combat it, but he might die next week. So I thought I'd throw him a bone and go with him to the shows.
I
But
haven't
no, that's
gotten
Gary
him.
Goldman too. Another guy I'd known for years, never seen him perform. I went to see his full set at the Stress Factory, taking my niece there 5-6 years ago. And I was like, wow, Gary, you really brought it to the next level. Those kind of things, I'm not a, I'm not a great comic. Everybody knows that. I'm a fun guy. I do okay, but I'll always be an opener, you know. So when I see somebody who's just so great, who does the profession correctly, you know, who's so uh, just wonderful at what they do, it just makes me so happy. It's like the way
Aw.
I appreciate an actor, you know, or somebody, you know, who or you know that it's that kind of respect that you have, and I just love dishing out the love for somebody who does it so well because it really is. I mean, some of you don't understand. Stand-up comedy is when you do it right. It's so there's so many bad stand-up comics, and I can name them right here. In fact, I have a list. I'll read them off.
Dave
So-
Juskow.
right.
No, joking.
Well,
Juskow,
you're
you are really funny though. You just have to
right.
the
I
thing
can't.
that
The
you
I'm
don't
funnier off stage. Yeah.
you're fun you're people enjoy you on stage too. I just don't want to tell you because your head will get so but you
It
just have
won't.
to like
Trust me
do
on
it
that.
more often. You don't do
I
it
know.
as
I know. I
often.
only do it once a month, and I'm lucky I get to
We
do that.
talked
But
about you again last week at the comedy set. We talk about you every week.
well, because my stories and my lifestyle are funny, and that's what's funny. And if I could bring that to the stage, I would be amazing. But I have trouble talking about myself, if you can believe it, on stage. Whereas here, I can talk about myself for hours.
I know, but
But I
it's the
also like talking about you, and I like just talking about other people and how great they are sometimes, you know, especially a good friend like you.
well, can I tell you that I went on a date and
Recently? Like this week?
not yeah.
I just some yours and my dating stories were from 10 years ago. That's why.
This was a while ago. This wasn't recent. This was a while ago.
Yeah, we have no recent dating stories. This is bad for us. We have to change that.
Yeah, but the guy smelled on the date and
Oh, what? Who smells on a date?
it happens.
You just come back from the gym?
Sometimes people like,
No, I
they
don't know. What kind of asshole wouldn't get groomed up for a first date? Was it known as a date?
kind of, yeah.
I
I
don't
think so. Yeah,
understand
it was known.
guys.
He said it was a date. I said it
This
was a
is
date.
just as bad
This
as
is
somebody of making you split the check on a
it's
first
about
date.
like
Something like
this
that.
is I didn't tell you about this. This was about like 5 months ago, right? And the guy smelled and I go to the gym and I tell the guy at the desk everything because I always do because I
Good.
can't
It's
afford
just like going to
therapy.
the market.
Yeah, I can't afford therapy, so
You're
sometimes
just
I
as
just
bad as
use
that guy
people.
who's always smiling with the bicycle, you realize, right?
I hate
You're
him.
just like him.
No, I'm not.
You love talking to everybody at the place. You're just like him.
No,
You
no,
just handle it differently.
he comes in with the smile. He annoyed me so much. Oh, his
Well, you
smile
come in
bugged me.
differently in the sec that you're annoyed and it's funnier, but you are doing the same thing that guys do. You can't wait to talk to the people who run those stands. Let's face it. You know I'm right.
Yeah, I have to tell you, the one guy at the farmer's market, that place
It's
I
so
went
funny.
today, this morning, you have me going to that bread spot now. It's like so good.
Oh God,
So I
remember how
go
delicious that
there.
cheese bread was?
It's not good for my waistline.
No, bread is no
A
good.
lot of people like the cheese bread, but I can't eat cheese, so
Oh boy, was that good. I just ate
I
it
used to get the
plain with nothing on
cinnamon.
it. Oh.
We
Did you
won't
say
talk about
cinnamon?
I get the cinnamon one.
Oh, that sounds even all right. That's what I'm having next time. Oh,
And
now
then
you're
I
making
got
me
like
hungry.
a whole grain thing of bread. But anyway, so yes. So I talked to that guy today because that guy's kind of cute, by the way,
Yes,
behind that bread counter.
he
You
was
remember
cute.
him? He
Yes.
was oof.
I remember all the cuties, whether they're men or women. Ah, I'm back again. All right. I don't remember that guy at all. I can tell you guys straight to your face. I don't remember that guy. I don't know what the hell she's talking about. And quite frankly, every time she goes to that place, she doesn't know. People hate her there. So with the you're back. So
Intense
you were saying
went through. So sorry people, we have a storm here in New York City right now.
they don't
But
mind when I'm just talking to everybody on my own.
I basically she was going into really intense stuff and every time it got really deep, I was ordering food. So it's like, how can I get the Kalamata olives?
I know that's the problem is that they get in stories and then you're like, but I do also want to get some food while
Rachel was like, I've never received the love that I ever, and I was like, the Kalamata olives. She was getting so upset. She was like, Marina, this should be a sketch. But that guy is so cute. I was telling her, I was like, this guy, watch me kind of hit on him. I was like, your mask is really nice.
Ooh.
Ooh, nice
So wait,
mask.
tell me about the date though. Go back to because
Oh,
I'm
so
dying to hear.
anyways, I go into the gym and I'm telling the guy at the desk that the guy smelled on the date, and he's been hit in the mouth a couple of times. I can tell, because of the way he talks. So when I walked away, I thought I heard him say, and I swear to God, I thought I heard him say, "So are you going to still suck his dick?"
Oh,
Yeah, that's what I thought. And I said, "Whoa, we're not that close,
right.
right?" So I stepped closer. I said, "Excuse me." I go, "What did you say?" And I heard it again. So are you still gonna suck his dick? And then I got even closer. I said, wait, what did you say? And he said, are you still gonna go on the second date? I was like,
Oh my God! Thank God! Holy shit! That's hilarious.
oh my God, you have no idea. I was because two phrases never sounded more alike,
Wow. You're right.
right?
Yeah, and it's funny that he doubled down in the second time. Wait, I didn't hear you. Are you going to suck his dick?
Yeah. Are you still gonna suck his dick, even though he smelled? And then I said, well, do you know what I thought you said? And he goes, oh yeah, that's a good question too, though.
Actually, that is a good question. If somebody smells, I assume you're out, right? But can somebody be handsome and they smell and you'd still go for it? I guess a guy
Sure,
would.
because you know
Yes.
what? Sometimes the fact that they smell, it could be maybe a one-off. It is a red flag, though.
But on a first date, I don't know how are you not showering when just I don't understand how you can smell on a first date.
That
Doesn't
means
that
that
mean you smell all the time?
that means it's probably in the clothes.
Right, which means he didn't even put on a new shirt for you on a first date, which is completely unacceptable.
Or he was sweating and it was coming through his pores.
Yeah, you did the right thing. I mean, getting out. I mean, I assume there wasn't a second date. I mean, did you stay on the date? Did he pay for dinner? Did you go to dinner?
Oh yeah,
What do
no,
people
no,
do to date
he paid
nowadays?
for dinner. He paid for dinner,
Oh, thank
yes.
God, because I've heard
Yeah.
those stories
But I couldn't
where a
really
guy
eat
actually
because
he stunk. Where'd you go? The place by you?
yeah. Not I didn't go to the enemy. By the
Oh, that's what
way,
I thought you meant.
sometimes I just call on the restaurant downstairs that I hate so much. There's a 311 app. So I could be in my sleep and just go, complaint, complaint, complaint. Too loud, too
Wow.
loud, too loud. But
You
they're
think that
going down.
Well, how much longer are you gonna give them to go down?
Well,
Another 2 years.
I'll tell you what's happening. I went to the community board last week, right? And I actually missed my spot at the cellar. It went that long, the community board, but it's really important stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I tell this one girl, I said, listen, don't get cute. Don't be funny. Don't be smarmy. Tell it straight. She did not listen to me. She started saying things like, actually, when we started this meeting, I can actually feel the rhythm of the music right underneath my feet. And she started to tell them, she's like, I had to go downstairs and tell the community board in my pajamas, no less. No, she said she had to go down to the bar in her pajamas and
Is
tell them.
this single female 2020 that's doing this? Because that's the voice I heard.
No, that's how she was talking. She was like,
Oh.
she's like, and I had to go downstairs. Now it was in my pajamas. And this is community board filled with like, there's black women there is in Harlem, and this girl's white, and she's like, and she goes, and I know, I'll give a different name, Quante. I know Quante. I went to Quante's wedding, and I can't believe he keeps the music on loud like this at night. I can't sleep. And I was like, she's losing them. She's losing them. And this woman cut in. She said, excuse me, ma'am, can I interrupt you? Can we get to why you're here? I was like, I told her, I said, don't be cute. Don't be funny. Just get right to the point. She's like, the music kind of sounds like, you ever been on the other side of a karaoke? And you could just kind of hear. And then the sister came, ma'am.
So wait, if you're all there complaining about this restaurant, why? If the community board, usually that's a shutdown right away. When there's a meeting, and I mean,
It should
what's
be.
taking so long? If there's more than just you complaining, and you
Yeah.
actually go to the community board. I mean, this kind of stuff happens. Take for instance the West Side Comedy Club, right? I mean, the place you hate. They were doing outdoor shows during COVID, and the parking garage next door was complaining. And for what reason, I don't know. They have another entrance, but they were just being assholes. And it just got immediately shut down. They called the community board and it got immediately shut down.
Oh, that's not happening for us because
why?
I'll
And this
tell
was a
you,
restaurant as well, remember?
because the woman who is in charge of the restaurant, what they do is they politically position themselves in the community. So that means she knows them.
Oh.
So it's politics.
Well, that's brilliant then, because if you can own a restaurant and then put yourself in the community, I mean,
it shouldn't be allowed. It should be like, and I know this. They don't know that I know it, but I know this, and this is what I'm going to bring up. And here's the thing: is at first it was just me. Now and then there was just one other person, and now they're seeing that there's 3 other people who are really concerned. So now they're concerned. The problem was that the meeting that we were at, the restaurant wasn't there to defend themselves.
Oh, and you think
However,
that's a strategy?
They are erring always on the side of the business, because
Yeah.
there was a business there that had a lot of community complaints, but they still went on despite the community being there, and they made no mention of that. But when we were talking, they were like, it's not fair that the business isn't here. It was very clear what side they were on, which is the business. So I often say, listen, I'm bringing this matter to you because I know that this is how you get things done. And although the situation is better, they have extended the bar into what is a beer garden. They created like for in 1 week, I swear to God, it looks like a sandbox past the sound barrier. It's insane. So there's going to be people out there in a beer garden in my backyard.
Sounds awesome. I mean, that's awful. That sounds great.
You would like to live above
No.
Think about like coming home just.
No, I would hate living above it, but I want to go to it. I never think about the people when I go to a restaurant.
It's beautiful. If it was like done, if it was not underneath my window.
Yeah, well, like you said, when you moved there, that restaurant didn't exist, right?
Yeah, they didn't exist.
Right. That's the issue that I have with people. When they move above a place where the restaurant or bar exists, then you're an asshole, because I don't know what you're expecting. But right, when one comes in and you've been living there, that's a completely different story, because you weren't expecting that.
Yeah. And the girl, by the way, who was talking about how she went down in her pajamas to tell them to be quiet.
I'd like to meet her. She seems adorable. Or no, I would.
Well, I mean, she's.
As long as she doesn't smell, I would take her out on a date.
No, she's a sweet girl. I'll introduce you to her. She's a very sweet girl, but I feel bad for her because she has it worse. She's right above the bar.
Well, that's perfect. She could stay at my place. I have video machines.
That's the problem. Every weekend.
What does she look like? Is she cute?
I'll show you a picture. I don't have my phone. I don't know where my phone's back there, but she's
cute. How old is she?
She's probably close enough at your age. I could set it up.
Oh, no, I don't want to date anybody my age. Ooh.
She's not. No, she's probably 10 years younger than you.
Oh, that's perfect.
I could set it up, and she's Jewish.
Oh. Ooh.
Okay, you don't like it.
No, well, it's funny. I don't think I've never got. It's funny. Last week I told you I had the tickets to the Billy Joel. I had these new cousins that I haven't met in a long time, and I met their kids. And one of the kids goes to the University of Maryland. I said, "Oh, my friends just graduated from there. My 25-year-old friends," which I think I showed you a picture of, because I looked ridiculously out of place with my 25-year-old friends for their birthday. Yes. But they were all girls from University of Maryland when I met them, when they just graduated at 22, and they were all very sweet and very nice to me. Whereas my cousin's kid was Jewish, and she was, I guess, in a different fraternity, where I'm positive they would have been very mean to me and said, "Why are we hanging out with a 55-year-old man?" Whereas these girls who aren't Jewish, they don't seem to care. I've always had problems with Jewish girls. They're very snobby and mean to me.
Are these the Jewish American princesses?
Exactly. That is exactly what I am talking about. That was exactly who I met on Friday, which was my cousin's kid. She was definitely a Jewish American princess. They haven't changed since the 80s. They're still wearing sweatpants.
I went to camp with them.
They're gorgeous faces, and they still wear sweatpants, and they don't care. And yes, they're all. I
They
mean, she
all wear
was
the
very
same
nice.
type of clothes too.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
you can't go outside of.
Since the 80s, they haven't changed.
I went to camp with like later in life. I don't know why my dad always like had me. He's just always wanted me around Jewish kids. He
Well, it's
always
probably
put me in situations where he's like, "You're gonna do fine. This is where you're gonna get your education. This is."
because yeah, it's my I used to date this girl years ago, and she, she was Irish, I guess, and her mother told her, date Jewish guys. They don't hit you and they don't drink. And I guess maybe that's where your dad is coming from. It's like, listen, they're not a lot of laughs, but well, they're laughs in different ways, but it's probably a better idea than
But they
hanging
weren't
around.
nice to me. I was
Well,
like,
of course, that's what they don't understand.
I was like,
They're
it was
very
like
nasty.
there was one girl in our cabin who wasn't Jewish, and we were like, "Oh my, can we be friends?"
They're
We would,
all my mother. My mother is awful. She's got this neighbor who lives next door to her, does all this great stuff for her and the community. And she's talking about moving into where my mother's moving, this independent living home, and she just won't be friendly with her because she's not Jewish. I'm not talking about they're all 90 and they still have this
meanwhile,
way.
my sister, God rest her soul, Naila,
Oh.
very popular at the camp. While I was not, everyone was like, "Are you Naila's sister?" And I was like, "Yeah." She goes, "Oh my God, you're so cool." Everyone loved her.
Oh, so it's not
And
a black thing. It was just a personality thing. You stink.
I guess.
That happened to my sister all the time. They're like, "You're David's sister?" And she's like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Oh my God, he's awesome. What's the matter with you?" And she would just get so angry.
But I think it was also because she was younger and she was cute, and I was like a teenager, kind of junior high.
No. I think it's a total personality thing.
Maybe, but I know they loved her. They were like, and this was when the Cosby Show was really popular. So they were like, she's like Rudy from the Cosby Show.
Oh, well, that's not even fair. Yeah, exactly. Well, if she was like that, if she was that adorable, that's not even
They
fair.
loved. I mean, she was having the best time in camp. Meanwhile, here's the funny story. My cousin Ayana was also there for a small amount of time, and we looked like twins, right?
Mhm.
So my dad saved money by saying that we were sisters. They believed it because racially they were ignorant.
Right,
So
exactly.
they totally bought into it until my
Your
cousin
dad is a
Ayana.
genius.
Yeah. Till my cousin Ayana got sick, and then they found out that we were not sisters, and everyone on the camp was like, "But you guys look so much alike. I don't understand it." And then she went home and left me there all by myself.
Oh, that's the word. I mean, I hated camp so much. I can't believe you went. I don't think I've ever met a black person who went to camp. I mean, it was only
I
a
was
Jewish thing.
definitely the girl in the cabin that
We
they
didn't
were
know
like,
it was a Jewish thing. I didn't know, until we got older that it was just Jews who send their kids to camp.
I don't know, Ravenswood camp.
Well, that's it. We also, speaking of Cosby, we should have known he was a piece of shit when he replaced Rudy because she got older with another adorable girl. That's just mean and nasty. With Raven Simone.
Raven Simone, yeah. Raven Simone is a brilliant child who became an annoying adult.
He sure did. And you know what the worst part is? I just watched Dr. Dolittle 4 today, this morning, before just as I woke up. It's called Dr. Dolittle, A Tale of, I can't remember, but it's shit. She works at the White House in this fourth one. I got a problem.
Oh, really?
Norm Macdonald is still the voice of the dog. So it was, I was like, well, that seems okay. I can't get enough of those talking animal movies. That girl, I think her name is Kyla Pratt or something. She's also on that Mayim Bialik Fox show now. She's older, but yeah, she works for the White House because their dog is tearing up stuff and ruining negotiations. So they're trying to find out what the problem is, and it turns out the dog is just angry that they're not a real family anymore. Ever since when he was governor, everything was fine, but when he became the president, and the president's daughter is a real pistol too, so she has to fix all of this stuff. All by 8 days before the president of Cameroon, I think, or something, comes in, and they're going to make a rainforest treaty or something.
No one's saying anything. We must be having a really good conversation. Like,
maybe it's blacked out. Maybe there's a problem with it. Maybe are we even on? Like, you cut out a couple times.
No, we're on. Hey guys, are you there? Look, I'm gonna type it. Let's see what happens. Are you there?
I don't think anybody's.
No, there's no one talking. We must be captivating.
No,
are we captivating?
Well, I am, but I don't know about you.
Yeah, look, my cousin
Oh.
Rita. Hey, Alta Rita. I always like saying that. Alta Rita.
I
What
love
up, Rita?
when you talk like that. It's so funny. Is
Alta
that racist
Rita.
of me to when you talk the way
I told
I find
Sarah,
it
I
funny?
said,
Or,
Juskow always laughs when Lois talks.
right. I like when anybody has the the accent I'm expecting them to have.
Hello, Rita. Hey, Rita. I miss the
You know.
family. I'm going. What are you doing for Thanksgiving, Juskow?
It's a little problematic. My sister and I have been, we've had problems. She's, there's vaccination issues.
Oh, that's right. We talked about that. So
Right.
have
So
you
we've been having
decided?
issues, but we've been okay. And just Thursday, we were hanging out with my mom, and we were okay. And we were planning Thanksgiving. I don't really like going to her house, but I don't have any other options. And her husband, who's unvaccinated, is a really good cook. So that's a problem because I will fall for that every time. But they gave me these baseball cards to put on eBay or something from his mother who died or something. It's a long story, and but it's not profitable enough for me to do, and I'm going to tell her, and then she's going to get angry because she knows I'm not doing anything. She's like, what do you care? And it's going to ruin Thanksgiving. So I think I need to find another place to go. So
Oh.
should I
I mean,
fly there
you
or
could come to
yeah.
Santa, you could come to Ventura, but you'd have to find a place to stay out there. That's the only problem. My
Yeah, no, I've
cousin is a
never.
really great cook.
Oh, wait, Ventura, California.
Yeah,
Oh,
I will be in LA and then I'm gonna go out to Ventura and he's a chef out there and his brisket won first award.
oh, well, then maybe I
Not
should make a
once, but
plan.
twice, several times.
But I can't imagine flying during this time of the year at this time in life. I've heard traveling is going to be a night. Do you already have your tickets?
I love this comment. I got immersed in my work, so I did not hear what happened with your smelly date. Hope there was a fragrant ending.
It was just an ending. It wasn't. Oh yeah, it wasn't. That's right, Stace. I was supposed to go to Evelyn's for Thanksgiving, although I wasn't sure if that was a true invitation or not. I don't know how her dad would feel about that. I brought this old man with me today. Do you think Evelyn
Well,
likes me like that way?
what? What way?
I'm just kidding. Like to go out
Well,
on a date with somebody who doesn't smell.
you could always go to you could always go to the Comedy Cellar.
I'm not going there anymore. I've just stopped going there. I'm not into it. I know I could, and that was usually my New Year's Eve plans, and now I'm worried about that because it's just not the same. I'm not
It's
happy
not.
there
I
anymore. I'm not
know.
getting the love from Liz. I'm very upset about it. I don't know what to do about it. The Comedy Cellar has changed.
So what about your Christmas thing? They don't let you do it?
I
The
just
show?
asked her, and she said maybe we could do this or that, but then she never gets back. And I want to do Love Actually. I want to do the reading again, but she said I maybe could if I do it at like 6 o'clock at night. And then I was just worried about do people show up at 6? Like maybe they do now that it gets dark. I don't know.
Oh, this darkness. When it
It's really
happened the
nice. Yeah.
first day that I saw the darkness hit us at 5,
Yeah. It's weird,
it
right?
was weird.
You forget from year to year.
It's gonna start coming in at 4 too, right?
Yeah. So on Thursday, I bought all these cards to my friend Joe to see them, and I got there at 5:30, and it was pitch black, and it's just weird. But it's not. We forget from year to year. It gets dark really early.
I don't like it.
No, I have seasonal depression. So what I usually have to do to go out is I have to leave the house at 4:30
In the
before it gets
morning?
dark. No, at nighttime. I have to make sure if I'm going to go out, if I have plans at 8, I got to leave before it gets dark or I won't leave.
Or you can get up early, like at 4:30 and like the early bird gets the worm.
But it doesn't matter though. I don't mind that it not whatever the case may be about waking up early. It's just if I have something to go out
I
later at
see.
8 o'clock,
You just
like we
said that.
do, we have shows at 7 and 8. It's difficult for me to get it together once it's dark because then I'm just ready to call it a night.
Yeah, you know what? It's so funny lately. I come home after doing my spots, and I mean, I don't hang out because I've been hearing about like all these people getting pushed on the subway tracks.
Yeah.
And I don't understand people who, I guess not everyone watches the news like I do, but like there was a woman that was pushed in front of the tracks in
Well,
Times Square. And so I don't hang out. I don't go
yeah.
too late.
Marina, you heard about the girl that got raped in Central Park the other day? I mean, everything's back. It's like the way it was back in like the 70s or 80s. Things are bad for women in the city. They just had a
Yeah.
thing about it in the Post today because you heard about that woman in Central Park, right?
Yes.
You go through there all the time, and this was in the day,
Well,
in the
I
morning.
haven't gone through Central Park in a while
But you know what I'm
because of it.
talking about.
Yes, yes, she was raped. She was like strangled from behind. They caught
He
him.
was running. Oh, they caught him?
They caught him, yes. They
How?
thought it was the same guy who raped another woman, like, really far, and I was like, "Why would it be the same guy, or are they being lazy? Let's just pin it on him," but it was 2 different guys. They did catch him because he went into a bodega or a store and tried to sell her cell
Oh,
phone right afterwards, so they have him on camera.
oh, brilliant. Oh, I'm so glad. Oh, good. What
So they got him, yeah.
he did it at like 7:30 in the morning, where you would think you would be safe. You could make a case. I know this sounds awful, but you could make a case that it's her fault if she's going there when it's dark. I know that sounds horrible, but you're not supposed to be in the park
At
when it's dark.
7:30, though, it's
7:30
sunny.
in the morning, it was sun. Whatever it was, I think the sun was up, even though the time changed. The sun was up. So yeah, this is unacceptable. Happens in the middle of the day. This is not good. This is old
I'm
school.
always
The
like,
pushing on the subway tracks. This is old school Manhattan
it's
that
just
was
old.
cleared out
It's
before
yeah.
de Blasio got here. Those things weren't happening anymore. This
There's a
Eric
lot to be
Adams
said
might
about
switch
the
stuff.
bail reform. People are using that
But you heard
as
about
the
the Black Lives Matter guy that's going to
yeah,
cause a
well,
lot of
they
trouble.
got into a fight, the black so the because I need to do more research about who that guy is before I go, "He's the one," right? Because
Exactly.
he's the one, but I don't know if he represents everyone within the Black Lives Matter movement.
They said he was the head of the organization, but
He's the head, but he may not be speaking for everyone.
well, you hope he's not. He's like,
Because
we're
he
going to
said there's
cause
gonna be
so much trouble.
bloodshed.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no,
And
no,
he's saying
no.
that to the new mayor. Why would you even say that? Just because he wants to get the police together again so you can go through Central Park and not get raped. That's what he's saying. I don't know why they're
Well,
thinking
that's
they're going to
what we're
cause so much
hearing.
trouble.
That's what the thing is the rhetoric has to be it has to be a conversation, which is what I see Eric Adams doing. And what the head of the organization is like we have a fine we want this and we don't want to budge from what we believe in. And if you don't do what we ask, if you don't do what we have set as our bullet points of what is our agenda, there will be bloodshed. That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
And so the two arguments that's going on, and then there's also the bail reform, which is a political talking point now because some people believe that this bail, the ability to post bail has been difficult for some. And so they end up in the system and
You
horrible
can't just
things
call your
happen.
friend and ask for $3,000 instant. Oh, right. I see what you're saying.
Yes. So, I'm using words. I don't really have the words for everything that's going on, but I believe that this is a bigger conversation that always needs to be had, and you can't shut down the conversation. I think the Black Lives Matter representative has a good point. He wants to stick to his agenda. Good for him. I think Eric Adams has an even better point when he goes, we always have to talk and have this conversation
Oh,
so
well,
we
how
can
can you say
figure out what is going on.
how can you say the Black Lives Matter guy has a point in saying we're
Because
going
he has
to
an agenda. He
but
doesn't
how
want
is
to
bloodshed and
No, that part
thievery and all that stuff a solution?
well, that's where he wants to go with. I didn't say that was right, obviously, but I'm saying that he's very passionate about his point. He's passionate about it. He doesn't want to budge. And something that has been happening for years, right, is when it comes to Black lives, we are always sacrificing our needs to benefit others. And for the first time, I believe that what this young man is standing for is I don't want to sacrifice what we really need as a community politically to get things done. And I think that's what he means when he's like passionate and saying bloodshed and all that is like
I don't know.
these two things, I understand what you're saying, Jessica. Like I want the crime on the street is crazy. Eric Adams, what we voted for him because we hear that he's gonna fix this. I want
Yeah.
it fixed.
Yeah.
But I also understand that some of the things that we need to do within the Black community to protect the Black community, to protect Harlem. Like, for instance, this bar that's underneath, I could move, right? I could just move. But I'm like, no,
Well,
I've lived.
that's not a Black problem. That's a
There's going to
Marina
be bloodshed.
I know you're
Oh,
thinking
see
that way
you,
too.
Jimmy Musa. I have to go. See you next time. We enjoyed the talk. Oh,
Bye,
okay.
Jimmy.
See you. Yeah, crazy MAGA people threatening violence too. They're passionate. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
those people are crazy.
yeah, but
You know what? And you know what the
there's a
worst part
huge
is?
difference.
The worst part is, Marina, it's like the vaccine. You know, it's like when you found out you could get COVID after you have the vaccine, the anti-vaxxers are going, see, and then when this guy says there's going to be bloodshed, then the white people are just like, see, I told you about the Black Lives Matter. They don't care about, I mean, that's unfortunately how it reads to
Yes.
people that are trying to
It's not good
work
talk.
it all out.
It's not good talk. It's not where Eric Adams is trying. And I understand this person too. He's trying to hold the new.
And Eric Adams doesn't like white people. I know this from my friends who worked with him in the police
He said he
department.
like
So
you
you'd think they'd be pretty happy about that.
I just think that what is really important, I think the young man probably used these words because he was passionate, but I think holding people accountable, holding politicians accountable
Yeah, but you're
is very
representing a
important.
really important thing that's happened during COVID, and that's just but he could do so much more good by being more well spoken. Does that sound, having a different kind of plan of action? Don't you think he could
That's
reach
my
more
whole
people?
point, though, is we have for years have said things in a way. It's like I'm not putting
So you're
it
saying
right.
this is the right way to send a new kind of message?
It's a new kind of message because sometimes we will politically sacrifice our real need in order to get other things that are more urgent done, right? So, in order to get I don't know, it's like you're sacrificing everything that you really want by saying, "Okay, let me put it to you this way," or let me I don't have the words for it, but it's just like the Democrats are not really popular right now, even with a larger Black community, because a lot of times Democrats sacrifice us for the sake of what they want to get done. And so I believe that what's happening right now is really important. Is there are people who are going, I don't care about Republicans, I don't care about Democrats, I care about getting this done. And I know you're a politician and I'm going to hold you accountable. You could tell me whatever you want, but I see right through you. And I think some of these young people are they're educated and they're informed and they're doing the work.
Do you think he would say something like that if Eric Adams wasn't a captain, a police officer?
Yes.
Do you think,
I think the fact that he's Black kind of nixed that, I mean.
No, I didn't mean Black. I meant as he's an ex-cop. Like, do you think that has something to do
I
with
think
it?
it wouldn't matter who it is. That's the point. I think,
You think this guy just hates cops, and like that's why he's saying, "I don't
I don't
trust
think he
anything you're
hates
saying."
cops. I think
Like he doesn't care about Eric Adams being Black. He cares about him being an ex-cop. Do you
No,
think that has something to
I
do
think
with
he
it?
cares about like Black lives, and that's it. I think
Well, yeah,
that's
but
the
I'm saying, don't
focus.
you think he's saying that maybe because he is an ex-cop? I mean, isn't that the problem? They're saying if you get more cops together, that's what I read, that he's planning on getting the cops all back together and we're going to put it together, and he's like, let's not have it the way it was.
Possibly.
And he's like, but of course he's saying that because he used to be a cop and that's why we voted for him in a way. I don't think it's the
Possibly.
Black thing.
I also think there's a minority of people who feel the way the young man felt when he said that. I mean, obviously, because
I'm sure
Eric Adams wouldn't be mayor if that was true. I mean, a lot of Black people stand behind Eric. A lot of Black people feel the way Eric Adams feels. So it's like it's kind of like reparations when they talk about reparations and they go, we got to talk about it so that it's edible for white people, right? And I think long is past is the time where we are making it nicer for white people to digest it. It's like, look, motherfuckers, this is what we want, and we're not going to make it nice, and we're not going to make it sound good for you. It's
Well,
either
that's what I
this.
need.
Is
I
that
need
what
it
you
to
need? You need
yes.
an edible?
I need it to sound like it's like, well, we don't appreciate what you're saying. I need them to sound like white people talking from Ohio. Well, we are not interested in what you have to say, Mayor, and we are going to how do you say fuck shit up in a different polite way that a
I
white
love what
person would
Venus says
understand?
here. Making things better for black people makes things better for all of us. Rising water lifts all boats and such.
That's true.
Absolutely.
That makes a lot of sense. That's the best thing
Yes.
anyone's ever said.
It's true. I have a
Brilliant,
book.
Venus Boys 3.
I have a book here. It's called The
Yeah, the
Sum of
David Steinberg book. It's amazing. He
Oh
goes,
no, not
"But
that one.
why don't black people like me?"
Not that one. But the one is called The Sum of Us, means that sometimes white people will sacrifice their own happiness just for the sake of being of not understanding and of racism. Racism plays a lot in like infrastructure, the bill that just passed.
Oh, it
That
did pass?
benefits all of us
Wait, did it pass today? I thought it was still up and
in the
holding up.
house.
It passed
In the
today?
house.
Hey, Marina, can I what have you been
Yes.
doing? I haven't like seen you in like a couple of weeks. Like, what are
What
you
have I
doing?
been doing?
Yeah, I haven't seen you.
Ah,
We haven't talked in a while. Like besides this.
I know, right? We went to Rachel's house.
Yeah, that
That
was so
was
much
that was
fun.
so much fun. We got
Rachel's
to do it
so angry
again.
at me because I called
Why?
her an idiot the other day, but she had it coming, right? She's like real dumb. First, she keeps texting me to my email, right? And I'm like, why do you keep? I keep not getting your messages
Because
because you're not
you know how
texting to my
she's probably
phone,
not doing it right.
right? So then I finally talked to her. I've been trying to talk to her. She calls me and she spills a glass on the floor, and then I said, "You're an idiot," but I didn't mean it that like in a bad way. It's just she's so kooky. The idiot is not what I meant, but it is. But I meant it as a joke. And then she got so angry at me, and she's like, "You called me an idiot, so you deserve it." And I'm like, you on January 7th called me out for being an awful comic on national TV, and I still let that go. When our Judge Jerry show airs January 7th. And she just says he's the worst comic. He's horrible. He talks about stuff from 20 years. I'm like, thanks a lot. Stop doing that. She's like not got me gigs because she keeps telling everybody I'm awful. And I know she's kidding. I mean, she's not technically kidding, but she's kind of kidding. But it does. But I'm like, I thought that's what we do to each other. We bust on each other. I don't know why you're so angry at me today. I think she's just going through a lot. Meanwhile, that same day, her husband called me because they had trouble with his car. So I thought everything was okay, but it's clearly not okay, and it's making me upset. But that day when we were at Rachel's, it was awesome.
That was fun. We got to do it again. And we
Yeah.
should do a dance video next time.
Oh my God, that's such a good idea. I don't know why we didn't.
You
think
know how I
about that.
do like my Friday dance videos? We should do that.
Yes.
There's
What are you
this
going to
guy
wear when
that I
you're there?
find
Sorry,
when I do the dance video.
I just make sure you're wearing jeans. I can't have those African pants.
What
that you wear.
African pants? I don't have African
That's what
pants.
they look like to me. I don't know why. They look like it's like right out of the Lion King. Whatever you're
Yeah,
wearing on those
Stace is
dance
going
things.
in. Stace is like, yeah, Heather McGee. Yes, that's her book. We're poor as a nation because of the mindset some white voters have that if something helps people of color, they're against it, even if they benefit from it. Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah,
against it.
this is very true.
I'm not
It's like,
against it. I'm just terrified of it.
well, that's your dumb, that you're an idiot.
Yeah. I know. That's why I don't
Oh
understand
my
why
God.
Rachel got upset.
Stephen Ma, I would love to come to Europe to entertain the
U.S.
service
servicemen.
members.
That's
This
awesome.
week was Veterans Week. So
Let's
happy
go out
veterans,
there. Let's go out. Oh, I was so mad at Veterans Day
Why?
because they have a parade and then I can't get my car out of the garage. So it's not just the veterans. Obviously, I'm all into the veterans, but I was like, I hate Jews on the Israeli Day parade. I hate Puerto Ricans on Puerto Rican Day parade. That's why I wanted to become Manhattan Borough president. First thing I do, I get rid of all the parades. And people are like, oh, you'll never win on that. But anybody that lives in Manhattan knows damn well I'm going to win. Those parades suck. Am I right, Marina? You're having a parade in the middle of the day on
I
a
hate parades.
Thursday. We all like veterans. Nobody is against veterans or any of the ethnicities
Just
I
have
mentioned.
it in one spot, like
Yeah.
Central Park.
Yeah, right. Why do you got to
Like
have
you
it on
do
the
the
road where I
concert.
can't
You
get
know
my
how you do
car out of the garage?
they
Do
do
you
those big
realize that
concerts?
for 20 years I had to work? We didn't have off on Veterans Day, so we just had to sit there, and I was right by the window where the parade would go by. I couldn't concentrate on my job while the marching band. You're going to see a marching band? Whoever has liked a marching band? Marching bands suck. It's almost an embarrassment to our veterans that we have marching bands. You know what we should have? Hot girl model contests. You know, whatever. I mean, if we're trying to be polite to our veterans, a marching band isn't the answer. Something real awesome,
Something that they could actually like.
modeling contest, or a, like they do in Venezuela, the handsome
I
man
love
contest for the
you.
women veterans. You know, something like that would be much more enticing. Or even, quite frankly, combine the Veterans Day Parade and the Halloween Day Parade, because the Halloween Day Parade is fun and colorful and a lot of laughs. No marching bands, mind you. And then you combine those two, everybody's having a good time. Everybody's mixing with everybody. The gays, the straights, the veterans, the blacks, the whites, right? The Halloween Day Parade is the multicultural awesomeness that it is, even though I don't want to be down there. People who
Actually,
are in band in high school, like, right. Those are the only people. And they might like it when they're in it, but I guarantee when they graduate, they're like, I don't know why I was ever in a marching band. Marching bands are awful.
the Halloween parade,
Yes, thanks to all
however,
our service
if
members.
you have a good I did an interview once, or I was hosting something for Caroline's as part of the New York Comedy Festival for the Halloween parade, and I never had better like view, like like I don't like crowds, so I couldn't do
Right.
it. But
And now it's even worse. Remember when we were first starting out, like in the 90s, the Halloween parade it wasn't popular. So it was
it
much
was
easier to.
amazing. If you got good seats at that Halloween
Oh, it
parade,
was the
the
best.
dancing, they did Thriller. It
Right.
was like,
So, right. And the
this
costumes
is
are
what's going
unbelievable.
on.
And this was a great way to show trans people, gay people, straight, it was like a good get together of everybody. And so if I was to become the mayor or Manhattan Borough President, I get rid of every parade, or I move them to different boroughs, or I have them every other. This is my plan, right? But I would keep the Halloween parade because it's down in the West Village, doesn't bother anybody, and the Thanksgiving Day parade because it's over by noon, and it's on Thanksgiving. Where are you going driving around? It's over by noon. It's fine. So that's the thing. Otherwise, yeah, they got a parade for everything, exactly, and it's too much. Marina, you
But
live
I have that
here.
great joke where I say the St.
Oh,
Patrick's
St.
Day
Pat, that's the
parade.
first one to go.
I say the St. Patrick's Day is a lot like the Puerto Rican Pride Parade, except for the police are actually in the St. Patrick's
Right.
Day parade.
Yes. Do you know? Yes. So the St. Patrick's Day parade's got to go. Right. That's awful. I usually stay in, especially as a Jewish man. I don't like to leave the house. I'm nervous that there's going to be trouble. But the Puerto Rican Day parade, one time I was filming my movie. Oh, I can, but that's not
Come on,
that's
Dave.
not the
I bet you
point.
could swirl a mean baton.
I used to twirl my sister's baton pretty good. I was very good. But again, still marching bands suck, and they always play the same songs. Living in America. Oh my God. And then there's the controversial one teacher that's like, let's do something from Star Wars or so. Oh, nobody, they all play the same shit. Marching bands stink.
But to answer your question about what I've been doing, which is what you asked like 30 years ago.
Sorry. I'm sorry, the parade's got me going.
Oh, look, you say, I don't know. My college marching band did this death by trombones thing that was thrilling. Ooh.
Really? Dear And again, death by trombones. That makes trombones. What do you do? How are you in a parade just using that trombone?
Wasn't that part of the music, man? Dun, 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 dun,
Yes,
dun,
that's right.
dun,
76 trombones led the big parade, and 110 cornets. With a You're right. You're right. Right. The Seinfeld one with the Puerto Rican Day Parade, they won't even air that one anymore.
They can't. They get in
No.
trouble because they didn't have any Puerto Rican friends.
That is an issue.
Which, by the way, Friends Like Us, which was also the original name of Friends.
Is that right?
I believe, yeah, and
I
also
thought that was the name for the Ellen show.
wait a minute, let me get this
Friends
right.
Like Mine, maybe it was like These Friends
I
of
think
Mine.
Friends Like Us was the original name, I think, of Friends, but it was also they took their name from a black sitcom. Friends took
Oh,
their name from a black sitcom, and I think it was the one
that's the funniest thing since they had no black friends.
with
How do you live in New York
Queen
City and not make?
Latifah, and so it's just
I
a
mean,
little
I don't
bit.
think was there one black person on Friends at all ever?
No, that's been
How
the
are you in that?
huge thing. They're like, we
It is kind of weird
existed.
not to have one.
There's like this new Western on Netflix. It's called God, I can't remember anything lately, but The Harder They Fall. And it's very good. It's like
I
you
hate
know,
westerns.
Idris Elba.
I do like him.
Oh my God, Regina King. It's so
Regina
Regina.
Phalange. Now you're bringing the Friends
It's
back again.
so
That's
good.
Phoebe's stage name.
And I was
Living
Living
Single.
Single. I think was original.
Isn't that
Thank
the one
you,
with
Venus.
Tootie from Facts of Life?
Yeah, Kim Fields. And so I think it was originally called Friends Like Us, and then
And
and
the
then
Ellen show was named something like that, or These Friends of Mine, maybe, or something. The Ellen before they named it Ellen.
yeah, so
Lana
but
Archer.
that's been the whole thing, is that we don't exist in these sitcoms or these worlds. Now, I would argue that if it's a white story, right, and white people don't like, they don't. That's how they're writing it. They're writing it as if their world
I
is
know, but I've seen
completely.
every Friends episode ever, and like even in Seinfeld, Elaine works with a couple of black people,
They brought
and
in the
there's a
lawyer.
couple.
The lawyer was great.
Oh my God, Jackie Childs. Oh my God, he was terrific. But Elaine works with a couple. There's a couple black people. And they even talk about that George doesn't have any black friends, and that's why he takes out that exterminator, or
Mm.
whatever. So they bring it up. But you're right. In Friends, at the same time that Seinfeld is on, how do they not just? Nobody ever came to the house. I mean, again, even in the coffee shop.
And then
That is
she
kind of
dated the
weird.
guy who was like, she didn't know if he was black. Remember that?
That's a great one where
And
they
she didn't
both
know how
thought,
to
and
ask.
he thought she was Spanish, and then they're like, "So we're just white? Like, do you want to go to the Gap?" Yeah, that's how it
Yeah.
ended. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was a great one. He had all that African art in his apartment, but then there was a reason. Oh, South African art. That's why. Yeah, that was a really funny one. I
So,
like that they
but to
addressed it.
answer
They
your
addressed
question
the gay
about what
thing
I've
too.
been doing. Oh, Ross did have a black girlfriend. Well,
Oh, right. Oh, she was so pretty. What's her name? The one from the E.
Aisha Tyler. Aisha
Oh,
Tyler.
that's right. Yeah, but do we consider her black? Do we?
Yes.
The way she talks, the way she just kind of
That
dresses
well,
like
see,
a.
that's the thing. That's the problem.
She was so
Is there
pretty.
are a lot of black people like this, but because they only sometimes show one type, and who is deciding the type?
Thank you, Steven, because I forgot about her. She's so beautiful.
Who is
She's on
deciding the
Whose Line Is
type?
It Anyway now? She's the host.
Is white people who are deciding the type that you get to
Right.
see. So then you don't, let's say you grow up in a white neighborhood, you're never around any black people, then all you get to see is black people on TV. That is the type that a white person has decided you need to see. Then you have no understanding. Like when I went out to my sister's house in the suburbs of Chicago, beautiful, clean. It's a black suburb pretty much. I mean, when I'm walking down the street, I'm going to show it to you, Juskow. People, I remember a comedian
Just
once saying to me, he was
Venus
like, I
Boys
didn't even
3.
know black people had clean neighborhoods. That's what he said to me. And I was like,
I could see saying that.
well, because you have no experience and you have not been around for a large amount of the black community.
No, I told you
You
the
don't
only
know.
reason I have any black friends is through comedy, and that's why Venus Boys 3 put that one up. It's funny.
Where does one go? And here's the thing: is the reality is a lot of white people only access to black people is when they're like helping them, service industry, and so
No,
that's their
my job,
understanding.
the guys in the copy room were my
Mhm.
friends. Yeah, you're right. I mean, it's
I
weird
mean, the fact that we're friends is like, yeah, why do I know your ass?
because you love me.
I do love you.
Well, because I'm honest about it. I think that's you have to
Like
appreciate.
even Martin had one white person on his sitcom. Yeah.
Martin.
Let's see.
What
I've
did he say?
met people in the army from
They never saw
Idaho
the
told me
person
they
until they
never
joined the
saw a
army.
black person in person until they joined the army.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
actually a picture we found of my dad in the army. He's playing poker with all these black guys, and yet I don't think he ever had a black guy or friend call him ever when we were growing up. Just the
Okay,
Army.
so Travis is saying, Travis, who I've never seen you here before. Welcome, Travis, and thank you for your different opinion
No,
regarding
Barry
friends.
Barry Sobel was on 227. Thank you.
Yeah, that's not true. There was never a white people on black. That's not
Adam
true.
Sandler was on
There were white
Cosby,
people on
and
Sanford and
Sanford is my
Sons.
favorite white person, that cop. Hey man, let's get crazy. He
And
was
in
trying to be
Cosby's
black.
show, there were several white people. There was the
Adam
dent.
Sandler.
There was the
Adam
other doc
Sandler.
girlfriends. Yeah, no, not true. Sorry.
Yeah, I even had examples. Sorry.
And
227, Barry Sobel, remember? The
he's
worst
white,
person.
giving you the examples. So there.
See?
We gotta
227,
go.
that's the one with Regina King, right?
Yeah.
I think I tweeted, hey, that girl from 227 won an
Can
Oscar.
you still see me? I have to read these. You still see me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So some reviews we had this week of the episode with. Now I can't see you if you're doing some crazy faces, Juskow.
I'm not. Oh, you're saying if I do the
I'm about
crazy,
to switch and read this.
I won't.
One of the best podcasts out there, hosted by the great Marina Franklin.
Did
Latest
you write that
episode.
yourself?
No, Paul Sullivan, who is a regular. He's also a comedian. Who's a regular listener of the podcast. He's a sports fan, but he loves our podcast. He says, and it's because years ago he said something because he had no experience with black people, and we ripped into him on the show. He's been listening ever since.
That's nice.
Because he gets to have an experience. He gets to hear, be a fly in the wall on conversations you don't often get to hear because, get this, on TV, even though you hear these conversations, they're still filtered down through a corporation. So in a podcast, that doesn't happen. So he says, latest episode, timing is everything, featuring Khalees Hawkins, Holly Harper, and Masavia Greer. He's listening to it on Pod Bay FM.
Masavia Greer. That's not the
We
guy that
also
used to
had
run
some. Yeah, he used to run the Boston
Oh, it is
Comedy
him?
Club.
Oh, I haven't seen him in years. He's a delight.
Yeah, so he was on. We were talking about Dave Chappelle because he went to school with Dave Chappelle.
Sure. Yeah, no, Masavia is the best.
And there's also a review. Thanks for all the great conversations. Love it. Well balanced and funny. I love the humor mixed in, especially since many subjects are about true experiences that aren't always positive, but always ends on a positive note.
See, I didn't even comment after. You really need to have me on the show again. Normally I wouldn't care, but I kind of have to come on since I'm on this podcast. So I got to come on once again.
There's so many funny comics though, Stephen Ma. Just so you know, I know you say I'm your favorite, but there's a whole bunch that are out now and you got to check them out. I got to say that. Okay.
Why'd you have to say it? You can't take a compliment? What's the matter with you?
No, I always just like to let people know that there's a lot.
They know.
Do they?
Yeah, I just said there's some of the worst comics out there. There's so many of them. They're awful.
But get this, on my podcast, Stephen Ma, you're going to get introduced to a lot more female comics. All right. Well, we got to go.
I don't have to go. I'm just cooking dinner tonight. Plus, it's nasty weather outside. Why would
Oh,
you
look,
want to go
Stephen
out?
Ma says Dave seems cool enough to have a beer with Dave. You can buy the first round.
My pleasure. Thank you. I love beer. I love beer.
You have to buy the first round.
I always buy the first round.
Do you?
I usually buy for everybody. I haven't been working, but it's difficult for me not to pay for everybody. I have a problem. My mother says not to do it anymore, even on a date, but I'm like, I can't, especially if I'm with a girl. I'll always buy. But
True story.
I'd like to buy everybody's beer all the time. I hate not having money.
In Australia, when I was on tour for like a month, everyone was buying drinks. And I was just like, God, you guys are so nice. I didn't realize that eventually I was supposed to do it.
I didn't know. See, if you're a girl, for me, I would never think that way.
No, but it was all comics. But this is how they do in Australia. It's like they just go, I'm going to get it. And then
you get the next one.
You get the next one. But I'm not like, I'm not beer culture and I'm not like one of those heavy drinkers, but they're heavy drinkers in Australia.
Yeah.
Heavy.
That's why I got to get down there.
So I was like,
I love beer.
And then it took me a while and I said, so wait, I had a conversation, by the way, it was with Hannah Gatsby. And I said, so is everyone thinking I'm an asshole because I haven't? And she goes, yeah. I go, oh man, but no one's ever let me in. They always like They always do it, and then I'm like, okay, thanks. So the next time around, I was like, okay, right, everyone stop. This time I've got it. And they were like, we were waiting for you to.
I don't think it was because you weren't buying drinks. It was probably because you were black.
Yeah, bring it back to race, white man. That's what you did.
What's
Always making
Australia like? Is it awesome? I've never been there. I don't know whether I'll ever go there in
Ozzy,
my life.
what'd you do today?
It sounds awesome there. Sounds like
It
everybody's cool and fun, and they drink beer. It sounds like the perfect place for me.
it can be. I mean, there are certain spots. I was all over. I was in like I was in more spots in Australia than most Australians have ever been.
Wow.
They really tore it. You did a show every day of the week. There was like one day
Oh,
off
fun.
for a
Oh,
month.
that's a good question by Travis Wade. Will you be filming another special anytime soon?
That is a really great question. So right now, I sold a show, and I have a development deal right now that I'm working on through FX. So yes, that's coming. But also, um, and I will let you know when that happens, but not too soon. Okay. Also, tomorrow I can't say the show because they won't let me. But I was asked last minute to film a sketch that'll be on HBO tomorrow night. I'll give you a little hint
Wait, why can't you talk about it if it's on tomorrow night? Is it
because it's
live?
supposed to be a surprise.
Oh.
But it's on HBO. That's all the hint I can give you. It's
Wow,
on
I'm trying to
HBO.
think.
I'll give you this hint. It's a political show. But it'll be on tomorrow night,
John
and I'm
Oliver.
gonna put a
Sorry. Everybody
put a
knows.
clip of it on my page, on my YouTube
All right,
page,
John
because
Oliver,
it's
everybody,
really
but
funny.
Marina
No,
did
I
not
did not say.
disclose the information
I
to
didn't
me.
say that.
Elizabeth Evelyn was fired because she is queer, and we don't care for that. We only like black people here. So
Yeah, no, thank
you
you,
for
Stace
asking.
William. Stacy, I think Evelyn.
No, I
Yes,
don't think
Evelyn
so.
is in the Onion Writer Shop today.
Oh, that's
That's
right. The onion writings, right. Not that Jewish one she works
workshop.
for, right?
Hmm. So she'll be back. Thanks for asking for
What would she
Evelyn,
do if
though.
she wasn't Jewish or gay?
Um,
I was just saying she writes for the Jewish magazine and then she does the queer comedy festival. So good thing for her. She happens to be gay and Jewish.
liking these theme shows. Well, Juskow, I do have to go. I have to,
I know.
because I worked out this morning just to answer your question about what I've been doing. I never really answered it.
I didn't give you a chance. I'm awful. I'm sorry.
Well,
I get
no,
excited. I love being on the show.
I know you're
I
so
like talking to
awesome.
you.
I love talking to you too. But what I've been doing is, the community board was one. That was a full day and a week of planning to
Hey, you missed a
present.
spot for it.
I've got to present to them again. And I have the Department of Buildings coming to check out this beer garden extension that they've made in the back because the guy has no permit to do what
I'm
he's
gonna
doing.
go check it out. Steve, is it Steven or Stefan? It's Steven, right? If you want to meet me at that beer garden, it'd be hilarious. Would that be great if you came down in your pajamas and me and Steven were just being like, Marina, we're making the noise.
I've had my brother
Oh,
who
you're
I
in
hadn't
Germany.
seen throughout the whole pandemic. He calls me from the restaurant. He goes, "Hey, I think I'm near you." I go, "Where?" He goes, "I'm in this restaurant."
We're having
And
the
he
best
names,
time at this restaurant.
and I was like, "That's the enemy." He goes, "What are you talking about?" I go, "What do you mean you're in there?"
Oh, I have to go. I have to party there. It's just going to be too funny
So
not to.
upset.
I got to get somebody to film it and show it on this show.
Oh, it's 10:07 in Germany. Enjoyed this podcast. Thank you so much. Thanks for posting the clip because I lost my HBO when Amazon Prime stopped offering it. Okay, yeah. So I will have the YouTube clip up. They're gonna give it to me.
Oh, that's nice.
And I don't do roast, Stephen Ma. Have you done any? I don't do that because a lot of comedians who do roast, it's not their own material. They get material written for them. And some of it they work on. And I'm kind of not one of those comics. I kind of don't really like trashing people. And I kind of don't like having material written for me. I can only do my own.
On December 1st at the West Side Comedy Club, the Roastmaster General will be performing on my show that Marina won't do.
The who?
The Roastmaster General.
Oh, Jeff Ross.
Yes, Jeff Ross will be on. I know. Wouldn't that be funny, Liz? If I was down in that restaurant, That'll be awesome.
All right. Well, we gotta go. I gotta go anyway.
Well, let me just say, Marina and I will be on the Comedy Cellar football show this Tuesday, right? Yes, at 6:00 on YouTube on the Comedy Cellar Nightly channel, and then Brian McFadden after that. But
Is
Marina's
there a
on
link
first.
that I can put in the chat room?
Yeah, the Comedy Cellar Nightly channel on YouTube.
Is it on their website?
It's on YouTube, and then you go to Comedy Cellar Nightly, and that's the link. It's called YouTube. It's Jesus Christ, what the?
You should have
Anyway.
a link to put in here. So
I
this
usually
Tuesday, you
do.
guys should
Oh.
join us.
Oh,
Well,
sure.
what
Of course
time
she's
is
gonna
that?
roast me. 6:00 Eastern Standard Time. Marina will come on at 6:18 until 6:55. Marina Franklin. I'm so excited about it. And then the next week we have Colin Quinn, and after that we have Gilbert Gottfried. So we have a lot of good, fun stuff coming up in the Comedy Cellar football show. And then December 1st, the West Side Comedy Club. Nick Griffin, Dov Davidoff, and Jeff Ross.
So it's a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun with you here today. And Juskow just gave you everything where you could see him. I always go after we post this. This is up forever. I go back and I tag Dave Juskow. So if you want to like follow him, if you want to.
Liz does. Liz very kind.
If you want to do that, you can. It'll be in the comment section and also in the bio section of this YouTube and on my Facebook. All right. So we had a really good time with you. Don't forget, the reason I do this is so that you listen to the podcast.
You have a
Friends
podcast?
Like Us. Yes. Hosted by Marina Franklin. That's me.
Is that a hoodie?
Yeah. I'll get you one.
Yeah. Well, you said you were getting me a shirt. I haven't gotten any.
I get it. And and also just always stay up with me on my website, marinayfranklin.com. I will try to make sure I update it. I've been kind of
She's usually
slacking.
at the Comedy Cellar or the Stand on Nightly.
Yeah, nightly. So I'm there all the time. Yeah, all right, guys. Remember, wear your mask if you're inside. Please get vaccinated. It is the most important thing you can do so that we can
Don't
get
be
back
like Aaron Rodgers.
So that we can get back to some type of normal. And if you don't get vaccinated, don't lie about it.
Don't lie about it.
Okay,
exactly.
that's all. Like,
God,
just,
that's the worst.
That's the worst thing you could ever do. Yeah. Remember, there are countries out there who can't get the vaccine. And there have been many people, by the way, you know how we pay respects to the people who are not here? That's one way to do it. Okay? And Black Lives Matter, or there's bloodshed. Bye.
Bye. I'm not going to do it today.
Why?
I don't know.